Welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about the future of work. Remember, listeners, you can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906, or you can chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook live chat.
Coming up on this episode of Intern Whisperer Live, our show tonight, we have Kailin and Malachi, founders and owners of Cold-Blooded Encounters.
All right, so how can you find us on our social feeds? The Intern Whisperer is on Intern Pursuit's Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and we have an Intern Whisperer podcast. You can go to any of these great channels, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and Podbean. You can play our game, internpursuit.games, and you can find our game also on Facebook and Twitter. And then, as a reminder, listen to us live on Valencia College Radio. Search for the Intern Whisperer, and we look forward to seeing people chat with us over here in the live chat.
And we always want to mention our patrons tonight. One of our patrons, Starter Studio, nonprofit organization and a pioneering innovation hub that empowers and provides resources for entrepreneurs, creatives, and innovators to begin, grow, and flourish in Florida. Starter Studio fosters a community serving as a platform for the ideas of the future.
All right, so like I was playing with the show notes, guys, and I was fooling around a little too much. So Intern Pursuit News. You students, if you want to work with one of our great employers or with Intern Pursuit, go to internpursuit.tech to sign up and create your profile. Employers of all types and sizes are invited to be part of our early adopter beta program. And you can also use the code Intern Pursuit Beta to sign up for a special pricing. Contact us at info@internpursuit.tech for more information. And if you want to play our game, go to internpursuit.games. So, Kailin and Malachi, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
We're just keep going.
Thank you.
Howdy.
So, we're going to go ahead. What?
It's Kailin.
Oh, thanks, Kailin.
Kailin, not Kailin.
I've been saying it wrong.
Did
Kailin.
I say it right in the intro?
Yeah, you got it.
You did.
Got one.
Everybody gets bad. You don't feel bad at all.
So why don't we just change your name instead? That'd be a lot easier for everybody else in the world. No, your mom wouldn't like that, though.
Probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the show. Now, you are all about reptiles, and you've brought some in the studio with us. And I wish we had done this as a behind-the-scenes thing. That giant frog you had on the table, it jumped and hit the floor.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. He can jump
I don't know.
pretty
Can
high.
you pull him up here so people can see him? Because I know that our show, we are live. We are here.
Why?
Yeah,
So.
This is Guaco. He's a African bullfrog.
Okay, he's not going to jump out of your hands, right?
No, he's good right now. But yeah, he's an African bullfrog, or they're also known as pixie frogs. They can get up to 5 pounds right now. I'd say he weighs close to 3, so he's not even full grown yet. But he is pretty big, pretty.
Look
awesome
at that back
frog.
leg. Okay, now
Hold
he's
it up
getting
a
ready
little.
to jump.
You got to do like a Lion
We're
King
gonna try to
thing.
position you in the camera.
Yeah.
Yep. Turn it
fight.
this way.
Yeah,
the
turn it
camera's
around.
on the
Which
wall.
is it, that one?
'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
not enough people are having nightmares.
What?
Like, yeah, boy, that is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty massive.
Okay,
Almost
so
looks-
when people eat frogs, that's the frog they must be eating.
Oh no, maybe in Africa, but we
never had a frog
American
like that
bullfrogs.
big.
This is an African bullfrog.
I know you want to hold him, John.
I don't. Unless it's fried.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you said he came from Africa. How much does a frog like that cost if you're trying to buy it as a pet? Do you know?
In the pet trade, I paid about $250 for them. Some
Wow.
people can find them for cheaper. Some people have them for more expensive. I've seen them up to $500 for these frogs, about this size. So, yeah, it's pretty pricey.
What does he eat?
He eats everything. I feed him mainly rats, and then
Okay, live.
Yeah.
Live
Like
rats.
little rat pups, like that are just
The babies,
crawling.
like just born babies.
A couple weeks old.
Okay.
But yeah, he eats a lot of rats because they're high in protein. But he also eats. I like to substitute it with a lot of insects, as in like crickets and roaches and stuff like that as well. But he can eat anything. Like
Now, I remember when I first met you, you told me that this frog has teeth. We were talking about it off the air. So for our listeners, what kind of teeth is it? I'm picturing a full human set of teeth in his mouth.
No, now he's one of the only 2 species of bullfrogs that actually have teeth. They just have like 2 teeth up top and then 2 teeth up on the bottom of the front of their mouth, just like to grip their prey. And it's just like 2 fangs just sticking out. Just
Are they poisonous?
no, they're not poisonous, but they just have a mean bite. They have a pretty crushing bite.
I bet. Another question here about, okay, he's just like moving all over the place. Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Did you get scared over there?
I did. I did jump a little bit over here. Yeah. So, okay, you told me how much he weighs, but does he have a friend? And does he like other frogs? Does he eat frogs?
Yeah, that's about the only liking he does. He likes females and he likes to eat frogs.
You mean just women? He likes any female?
Yeah, well,
Humans?
female frog. Yeah, he loves people. He loves people, but yeah, he's he eats frogs. Yeah, they're cannibals. So
Wow.
he don't have no friends because he eats whatever can fit in his mouth.
Okay, so Ayana's a little bit squeamish over here, so she's thinking he's going to come and jump on her.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's a nice guy.
He's just going to sit there and hang.
You know, he might turn into a prince if she does come over here.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
You have to.
Girl, yeah.
You have
You
to.
have to hold him now.
I think I can put one on my
change
fingers
it.
and then
Like a
put
quick
it on
touch.
him. Oh no.
So
He's like all over the place.
how do they're in the wild. How would, other than like hopping away, do they have any defense mechanisms or
Oh, that's a
anything?
good question.
Yeah, really, it's just their bite, and they just try and get away as fast as possible. Like, diving off into the water. So they'll sit real close to the riverbank. So, yeah, that's about it. Hopefully they see their prey before it sees, yeah.
I'm gonna help.
He's
him
getting
feel
excited.
comfortable.
He's going to do some tricks.
Well, he hops out of the box, so
Yeah.
that doesn't help.
Yeah, you have to put the lid on.
But he'll jump out.
So they have a little
Set
bit.
it down there.
Just so he doesn't hop out of the box, I'm putting that lid on there because he was looking like he was pretty happy to be
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, he was just trying to go find a hiding spot.
Really? How can he hop? I mean, how far does he hop?
Yeah, he can. They can hop about 5 foot. Like,
Oh, wow.
when they're really trying to get away from something, or if they see prey, they take off.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit.
He's locked up now.
He's in his cage.
Well, he could be, he's huge, though. He's probably pretty strong. So I'm not, let's make, we'll be safe.
I don't want to get bit by him.
All right,
he's
see, I'm
friendly.
not, all right.
He's friendly, though.
So I'm not sure how far I'm reaching with these questions, but can you get warts from frogs?
No, that's a myth. You can't get them from frogs. Yeah.
I remember in elementary school, I won't say any names, but this girl always had warts, and it was because she said she always played in the dirt with frogs and stuff. And I was convinced ever since then.
I don't think it's because of frogs. I think
It's
it's
the dirt.
Probably the
Is
dirt.
it the dirt?
The
Yeah,
dirtiness.
it's something that's in the dirt that's some kind of a
Like
micro.
she would play with the tadpoles and everything.
I don't think that has anything to do. I agree.
Just the
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's a skin abnormality.
Maybe, I don't
Sensitive skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a pretty brave girl there that she was. She was playing with that.
I didn't mess with her.
Okay, I
He didn't want to get
understand why.
warts.
Frogs are friends.
So, aside from eating, how frequently does he get to go outside of his box?
Well, he has a pretty big enclosure, like back at home. But I also take him outside, for enrichment. Set the little pool up outside and let him hang out there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get it often. Probably about once or twice a month. I'll take him out. Let him have some fun outside.
So tell our listeners what enrichment means in reptile talk?
Enrichment is just like just exercise and stuff that they can't necessarily do in the confinements of their enclosures. So anytime they get more area, they'll always hop around more, or he gets more space to swim, or things just like going through the grass. For snakes and lizards, like they love that. It's like making an animal feel like they're
In their
nature.
habitat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you try and give them fun stuff to do outside the enclosure.
Well, how big is this cage at your home?
He has I think it's like a 30 by 20 enclosure, because he'll sit in one spot the whole time. He'll sit in that one hole, or he'll get over in his water bowl, and that's about all he does. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So is it like a fish tank, or is it a wire cage?
No, it's an aquarium.
Oh, okay.
Aquariums are they're better for them because they're glass, so they can't sit there and rub up against it like screen cages or like some metal or.
That could hurt them.
Yeah.
So if he's in there, does he like to be in water, or is he a land frog?
He likes to sit in his water around the time that he sheds his skin, but he also will just sit in the real moist spot of his enclosure. So I would say about 75-25 for mostly land, but it has to be real dang near marsh type.
So I know we went right into the frog, but we didn't talk about why you started this business and how it all came about. And you guys are brothers.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
why don't you tell our listeners because this is always about an entrepreneurial story here. So what is the story about why you created Cold-Blooded Encounters? And just so our listeners know, these animals go to schools where there's children because none of them are poisonous. So it's not maybe it's cold-blooded as what we're thinking, like it's going to harm us.
Yeah, it's cold. They're cold-blooded animals, but
Right.
yeah. So basically, ever since I was a kid, I always liked catching snakes and lizards, everything around the house, because I lived in the woods. So I would catch all the animals I could. Grew up watching Steve Irwin and Jeff Corrin and all them. And as I got older, I started to like snakes more. And the more that I started to like snakes, I liked big snakes. I was like, man, I want to get the longest snake species in the world, and that's a reticulated python. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get a reticulated python. And then I was like, man, I got to get a permit just to get this snake. And then in order to get that permit to have that snake, you have to have a reason. And in the state of Florida, it's for either breeding or educational purposes. So I was like, okay, I'll just start an educational business and just share my love with the rest of the world, and just try to change some minds and change some lives. And my little brother, he's always been around me when I do stuff, because we grew up together. He's a couple years younger than me, and I was just like, hey man, you got to help me do my shows and stuff, because he likes to come over, hang out with the animals and stuff all the time. So it's just fun, having my little brother tag along with me to go do my shows and hang out with my animals.
Is your house zoned residential or commercial? Because you have a ton of animals at your place.
Yeah, it's zoned residential, I guess. It's in what you call a rural area.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I can have all my animals and stuff. I have my business, but I don't really have people come. It's my private collection that I take around to schools, and I go to churches, and I even do photo shoots and stuff with my bigger snakes.
Wow. What is the longest snake? Okay, I'm going to let you guys ask questions too, because I'm
I see
totally
you're interested
monopoly.
over there.
Yeah. What is the longest snake that you have?
The longest snake I have is my reticulated python. He's still a baby, so he's about 8 foot right now.
8 foot.
Yeah, he's about 8 foot.
8 feet, guys.
When he grows, how long is he going to be?
I mean, the longest snake ever recorded was a reticulated python, and it was over 33 foot long.
Wow.
How long is your house?
In captivity, they get about 25 foot long.
See, I imagine that, and I imagine did you ever watch the movie Anaconda back in the day?
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. Is that what's going on?
No, that's what most people imagine. Those are 40, 50 foot long snakes. They don't get that big, but
I think 30 feet is a pretty big animal.
I mean, yeah, it is.
That's like the hallway.
He won't get that big though. He'll get about 20 25 at the max.
I'm curious. Take me through, or take us through a little bit of a, like, what's a show like? You know, some kids lining up, you got them captive. What are you subjecting them to? That's a loaded question. What do they get to witness and see and enjoy and encounter?
Just a variety of animals. We can either do like a booth type setup, you know, as if we're a vendor. We can just have a whole row of animals like on our table, and then they can just come by and see each one. You know, we'll have, you know, snakes, a couple different snakes, you know, a couple different lizards. We have a scorpion, frogs. Just I'll bring about 10 to 12 different animals depending on whoever what they want me to bring out.
They
And
have
then,
tarantulas
so,
too.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Tarantulas.
I imagine so all the kids will hold them, or if you go to churches, the elders are going to hold. You wrap a snake around the pastor and stuff like that?
No, not
yet?
Actually, yeah. Like a youth pastor, he did have me come out and do a show.
I'll
and
do that.
He was all for it.
Yeah.
He was all for it.
Right on.
All right, so let me come over here and look. Okay, so what type of education? You talked about you have to have a license to do this, but what is the education that you have to have? Or are you self-taught? Is there a school? Do you go to zoo school? I don't know. What do you do?
I mean, you can do plenty of things. You can, you know, go to college for it, or you can just go be an intern at like zoos and stuff. But that usually requires college. But me personally, I just did all my learning like off of just like self-research. So yeah, I would say I'm more self-taught, but there's plenty of people out there way more educated in it than me that took those extra steps. But I do what I do, you know.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've had cold-blooded encounters for it's just a little over a year now. But reptiles, like, it's been my hobby since, you know, I was a kid. Like, I always had something. So, but just as I grew older, that passion grew. So did my collection.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone always hears the stereotype, don't work with family, and family, you know, don't mix that business and personal relationship. What do you guys think about that? How's work been?
It's great.
Yeah.
We don't ever really fight when it comes to events and business, because it's business. Like, if we try to throw some family stuff in there, it's not gonna work, because you gotta focus on business and business only, and then get to the family stuff after everything's done. It's work.
And just so our listeners know, Malachi is over here wearing a, what is this type of snake?
Ball python.
A ball python boa. That's what he's wearing.
It's
a ball
a python.
boa.
No, not a boa. It's just
No,
it's a ball
I'm just
python.
like a boa, like, you know, piece
I got
of.
you.
That's the
a
one
garment.
everyone wears, like the whole snake skin. That's
this
the
is gonna be the
print.
new trend.
That's
You
the
just got a
popular
little snake
print.
around your neck, walking down the street. New trend.
Yeah.
Got it.
I
All
can see
over
it. It is a
Instagram.
fashion trend for sure.
All over Instagram.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I cut you guys off though on a question though.
Nope, that was it. Malachi answered it, unless Kailin has something to jump in on.
Yeah, well, I mean, he covered it all. Really, it's just like I ain't about to argue with you. So, you know,
How are your day-to-day duties split up in terms of how the business is shared and how you operate together? Who's got?
Well, it's more. It's like it's my business, and it's just my little brother. He just like he helps me. Like he's there for everything. He's not necessarily an owner, but he's just my little brother.
So
like,
that's the translation. He's my little. He does what I say, just like you did when we were growing up.
Malachi. You gotta.
Yeah,
You're gonna save up one day, put some money down. He won't deny it.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
will not deny it.
he does his thing though. Like he helps me a lot. You know, when I have to go out of town to go do various things. You know, he'll be at the house every day with the animals. You know, even he don't have something to do. Like our neighborhoods are right next to each other. So you know, when he's bored,
I'll come over there.
he just goes over there, plays with the animals. You know, he cleans everything for me. So, you know, it's a lot of fun having your little brother
Yep,
there.
I'm great. I know.
Okay, so at some point in time, he's not going to be your little brother. You're going to say my partner, because he's going to be your business partner. now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll
Exactly.
be big one day. You know, we'll have a zoo one day.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll have
Yep.
a zoo.
I'll be the money manager.
Now you're kind of close.
Accounting.
You're borderline zoo now, right? What is your home collection?
Yeah,
like your business collection.
I have about I would say about 30 animals at home. So you know, I would like to say like then within this year, I'll have a private zoo, and then eventually grow from that.
And are reptiles? I know you mentioned that frog stays in an aquarium and that kind of thing. They're all aquariums, basically. So, or how are they kept?
It just depends on the animal and the space that they need. Like I have some outdoor enclosures, like they have pens that we build outside. Other ones are just like sections of the yard, just like sectioned off for like my tortoises and stuff like that. And then other than that, everything's in aquariums and just different types of enclosures around the house.
So the animals that live outside, are any of them the snakes? Because they would live outside anyway.
Yeah, some of them can, but not right now. I don't have any snakes outside. That's just like lizards and chameleons and tortoises. But hopefully, within this year, I'll have more outdoor enclosures, and then there'll be a snake out there, so a snake or two.
So the reticulated python, it's going to get bigger. It's 8 feet, and it's going to, you said up to like 30 feet, right?
Yeah, they can
so
get up to that.
Are you a little concerned about that animal getting out and saying, dinner, and going to another cage and wanting to eat this poor little ball python that's right next to us?
I mean, they are opportunistic eaters, and if something like that were to happen, that is a possibility. But I have all my enclosures are pretty secure, so I don't really worry about that happening. So, I mean, I've came home, and, my snake was just laid out across my bed. And I'm like, what the heck? How'd you get in there? But, yeah.
It escaped?
Yeah, but it didn't try and get anything. So maybe it may have seen stuff, but they can't get to anything. They
as
can't
long
get
as
to
it
each
had
other.
eaten before. So
Oh yeah, they stay well fed.
Yeah, I would imagine. How long does it take to care for these? This looks like, do they all eat on the same day, or do you have to rotate?
Yeah, I rotate it because I like the snakes. They only have to eat one time a week. Some of them are only like once every other week. But then the lizards, they have to eat. Some eat every day. Some eat every couple days. Tortoises, same thing. So it's just I have to rotate the feeding days.
What is the youngest age of a child that has held a snake? Because you have children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say like a 1-year-old. I did a 1-year-old's birthday party, so and he was the youngest one there.
And you brought all of these critters with you.
And a couple more.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. A 1-year-old, I think that they're oblivious to what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd like pick up the snake by the head and go, "What is it?"
But then but that's also the good part is you start them young, showing them they don't have to fear something like that, and then like maybe the rest of that baby's life he's gonna be fearless of snakes. May even turn into me or somebody bigger. So
How do you know? I feel like I used to know the answer, and maybe I don't anymore. Speaking of snakes, there's ways to tell if they are dangerous or not. Obviously, a rattle is one, and I don't want to see that or hear that. But I came home once, and our family came in. We came home. We walked around Disney. We come home, and there's this little tiny red-looking snake waiting for the kids in the bathroom, and they freaked out. So I have to go in there and collect this thing. But they didn't tell me how big it was, so I don't know what I'm going into. But you could look at them like, isn't there pattern stuff? Aren't there ways to tell this is dangerous? So, have more care if you encounter it when they show up, or this is okay. You're going to be all right. How does the common layperson know if their life is on the line?
Okay, the number one rule to that is if you don't know what it is, like don't bother it. And if you're that afraid of it, call somebody. But other than that, like there are, some animals they have like rattlesnakes. They have a rattle and like it's very distinct. But then there's also corn snakes, rat snakes, and black racers. They'll sit there and wiggle their tail in the bushes or like in the leaves and make it sound like a rattle. So like, there's a lot of mimicry. Some people could say, oh well, if they have like a triangular shaped head, then that's poisonous. And if they don't have a triangular shaped head, then that's not poisonous. And that's not necessarily true either. It just depends on the species because there are some, that have just a regular thin head that they are like coral snakes. And they also have, they're venomous. So Yeah, like red next to black is a friend of Jack for milk snakes and like king snakes, but red next to yellow is a killer fellow, and that's a coral snake. But sometimes the patterns vary, so yeah, I wouldn't mess with it if you don't know what it is. But there's some snakes, you'll be able to tell like, oh, that's a black racer. There's another venomous snake that looks like that, but yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the snake that's just hanging out over here on Malachi. This snake is, what is its name, Malachi?
This is Ghostbird.
Ghostbird.
It's like Ghost and Casper put together.
But why did you name it that?
My nephew, his son, actually named him it because he's like a white tint, kind of like a ghost kind of tint. You know how they're like.
I don't see
whitish,
his
but
head.
see-through?
It's a ghost morph.
Oh, his head is moving around a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's on the shoulder back here.
Yeah, I see it.
But yeah.
How much does that snake weigh? He looks pretty healthy.
Like a pound and a half.
Yeah, it's not heavy at all.
Hold it out a little. Give it a show. Try to
I can take
get the camera for it.
Okay, it's your time. It's camera time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not too big. I mean, he's about a year and a half old. Ball pythons, they don't get big. They only get about 4 to 5 foot, and that's the females.
Does
So-
it live on the ground, or does this live in the trees?
Yeah, these are a terrestrial species. So that means they're on the terrain, as in like terrestrial is just like a ground dwelling species. There's arboreal, which is like a
Trees.
tree dwelling species. So, but yeah, ball pythons you'll never see them in trees.
I like this snake because it's not moving.
That one is very relaxed.
Yes.
Is that like the starter kit for snakes
Yes.
if you want to own a snake?
Yeah. I would go with ball pythons if you want more of like a chill, easy to care for snake. They don't move much. They just like to be lazy, left alone. But they also love handling. They're very easy to handle. But then there's corn snakes, which is also just as perfect for a beginner, but they're just a little bit more high strung. They'll move around more, and they require a little bit bigger of a enclosure.
And they're called that because they live in a cornfield?
Yeah, that's where it originated. They were mainly found in the cornfield and stuff, so
But
that's
they're
how
not
they got their name.
poisonous.
No.
What
they're
color
not
are
poisonous.
corn snakes?
It can be a variety of colors. There's hundreds of different morphs, but generally it's just that red, like orange and yellow color.
Okay,
With, like,
see, I'll
checkered
touch
belly.
this one. I'm okay with touching
Well,
this
you
one.
have to wear it later, like a necklace.
No, I'm
Get
not.
your
I'm not
picture.
going to do that. But I see it's going to go and give you a necklace, so it's moving in a little bit closer around your neck.
Yup.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, see, I wouldn't.
Fashion
That's
statement.
when I'm freaking out. As soon
I'd
as
be-
it gets that point,
And
Yeah,
look, he's
that's
unwrapping himself at the end.
Yeah, he's not going to squeeze. He's just trying to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
but
they
now
don't-
he's looking at me and he's coming to me. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to stay on this side
He's
of
like,
the
never mind.
room.
I'll come over here.
Yeah.
it's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's
Not
let
for
him
me
come
to
over
wear.
you.
It was like
But-
a little tie.
I
Yeah, it
imagine.
looks like a tie now.
Yeah.
I imagine
business
going to
casual.
some
You're not
festival,
He's like,
seeing someone doing
Why'd
that.
you get business casual, man?
Here, I got you.
No
That's a
Peter.
look.
Yeah. Okay, so how old is the snake?
He's about a year and a half old, so he's still got a while longer.
So I noticed that his neck is kind of thin, but his body is pretty beefy looking. So did he eat recently?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ate on Saturday.
Yeah, but it's digested. We wouldn't see like.
Oh no, you won't see it.
I mean, towards the tail, it's thinner because it's more at the bottom now. But
No, it's,
More information.
yeah, you really like the first 2 days you could see the shape in there kinda, and then after that they're usually passed
breaks it
down.
down.
That's, how long does it take for, say, mice, rat, or something? How long does it take for that to break down in the body?
I think its body is squishing it though.
Like it,
Yeah, it's
The
about a
muscles, yeah.
week.
like
yeah.
what's the
Like how long it takes to digest it.
to digest it?
Yeah, it's about a week. The digestive cycle.
Like a garbage disposal in the sink, just eats it up.
I don't think that's the same comparison.
You don't think so?
It's
Like,
like-
I don't
squeezing
think
the
so.
stomach.
That's like instantaneous.
yeah, it's
This is taking a
like
week.
anything in there, and it's like demolished.
Yeah. Alrighty. So the other little creature that we have that's over there by you, his name is, wait, let me remember, Picasso.
Because of the color?
Picasso, yeah. It's a panther chameleon. Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
I know. I held that one. I'm fine with holding that one.
Yeah, that's Picasso. He's a panther chameleon. They originate from Madagascar, which is an island near Africa. But he was actually a wild caught here in Florida. We have like several species of not invasive panther chameleons, but invasive chameleon species. What? So yeah, we have like veiled chameleons. We have panther chameleons. We also have I think there's a population of Jackson's chameleons, Mueller's chameleons. Like, down south they have a lot of stuff. But he actually came. He was found about 45 minutes from my house in Central Florida. So yeah, they're everywhere.
Like, did you know where to look, or you were just walking out and like?
Yeah, me and my buddies, we go hunting for them.
Okay, do they run? How do you catch them? With a net?
No, they stay still. They're usually up in a tree. We just have to shine the trees. And then whenever we shine the trees, we can generally see them because they're just like a little bit different color than the leaves. And they'll just sit there. And when you shine their eyes at night, they don't know what's coming. Oh,
sorry, buddy.
Sorry, bud. But
his eyes are going all over the place.
He was almost asleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty easy to catch as long as you can get to them.
Kind of looks like the claws of a sloth. You know?
Yeah, because they have to grab onto branches and trees and stuff all day.
I'm sorry.
Okay, but they do not move fast. Like,
no, not really.
I saw an iguana outside of an office where I was working. I think it was an iguana. It was all green, really big, and it was about
really long tail.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like 3 feet long, and I was like looking, and I said, "Everybody, come here! Look at this!" It was just chilling. And we opened the door, and it went boom! It took off like crazy.
Yeah, iguanas are real fast, but chameleons, they're not. They more try to blend in than they try to run away.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're not fast.
All right.
You mentioned there's a lot of invasive species, and I guess I don't know. People bring them and let them go. I mean, how do they get? They're in Africa. Are they swimming across the Atlantic, which would be amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, are they falling from the trees like the whatever we're hearing after the freeze? Look out for lizards falling on your head.
No,
but how? I mean, is that? This is a double barrel question. How do they get here, in your knowledge? And is that a problem? Is there like some black market for letting lizards go? I don't.
No, some people, they like to, create colonies like here. That's one way. They'll just get them just to let them go and to start their own population somewhere where they know they're at. And it kind of like, just natural farming of them. When nobody else knows that they're there, they're not going to get messed with. But then some, some can just escape from their enclosures. And others, people do let them go, just because they don't want to take care of them anymore. And also, like with the Burmese pythons down south, like everybody says, oh, they were just let go. But what that really was when Hurricane Andrew came in, there was this warehouse full of like thousands of them. And when all those got let go, like, the Everglades is basically like over there in Southeast Asia, like with the humidity, like the ecosystems are just about the same. So they thrive down there, and then, so it's a lot of different things.
So can he drop from the trees on my head?
He can, but if he sees you, he don't want you to know he's there. He's gonna stay still.
Okay, that's.
But yeah, and they're very cold hardy as well. That was another part to your question. Yeah. Like the iguanas, they can freeze and it seems like they die, but they just shut down their bodies, like to save all their energy during the cold. But chameleons, like they'll just sit there and hunker down. Like on a tree, won't even be up under anything, and they can sit there in like 40-degree temps, just like that's why they're wild, thriving here.
How long does that animal live?
He will only live about 7 years. The average lifespan of a panther of chameleons are generally like 5 to 7 years.
That's pretty soon. That's not a long time at all.
That's like a guinea pig.
Yeah, you can't get used to it.
Guinea pig's 5 years.
Yeah. Live fast, die young. Pretty
they're
for
racers.
A little bit of time.
I see it's like facing you, the body, the head of it's facing you, but the eyes are rolling all the way back.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Can it see behind himself?
Yeah, they can
sees you,
make
John.
their eyes go two different directions, and they also can like see all the way behind them. They can
That'd be
see
cool if we could do
everywhere.
that.
Wow.
You know.
Just like if someone's looking behind you, just like that'd be cool if we could do
Snakes.
Roll your eyes in the back.
it. What?
Oh my goodness. So I know you mentioned off the air that there's a colony of these that are living here, and you guys are going to go find some more. Is that the only one you have? Does he have a friend of his own species?
I had some other ones, but yeah, he's the only one that I kept because he was the prettiest one. But then I also have other species like field chameleons that I've caught as well.
Would the snakes eat them? Yes.
They would try, but I mean, that's if they seen them. So they're used to rats, so that's what triggers them is that scent of a rat. Like that chameleon, they're just like, that's something different. And if they can see, and if they can pick it up, you know, they would try. They're opportunistic eaters. They eat when they can. So.
And it wouldn't run away from a snake.
It couldn't. It couldn't.
Poor thing probably couldn't get away.
Poor little
Oh.
critter.
They just
That
have
would be
like
sad.
sharp teeth and sharp claws, and that's about it.
Oh my goodness. Well, we need to take a break and address our second patron.
Omnimodal, helping smart cities connect all commuters across all modes of transportation move into the future. Omnimodal, their website is omnimodal.io. Thank you, Omnimodal, for being a patron of the Intern Whisperer Live.
All right. So, back to our show. Oh, were you playing music again?
It's over. We're back.
Okay.
I think that's a little frog down there squeaking
Really?
around.
Yeah, because I keep hearing something.
It sounds like the jungle, though, doesn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
Walking
right.
around.
And I keep hearing it. I'm going, where is that noise coming from? Is that really the frog?
Yeah, he's just down there, just squeaking around in his little box.
Oh, just because it's wet, right?
Yeah,
Not because he's making that noise.
Oh yeah, it's just a little wet. He has a real deep
Growl.
Yeah,
Bullfrog, like.
kind of,
Where
but
it's
it's
really
more of a
loud?
growl, and it's really deep.
Can you squish him and make him make that noise?
No,
Attack.
That's where the teeth come out. Yeah, pretty
Speaking
sure.
of the frog, I pulled up a picture. It'll transition soon. The teeth on it's like how can I explain it? It's like if you put your
Yeah, I seen
two fingers down, two middle fingers down, it's like little white claws in its mouth.
yeah. This is
Oh,
like
like
some little
fangs.
fangs.
Like fangs.
Okay, so you have some fans here on our feed. So Felicia Kathleen, your daughter is watching.
Yeah, hey
Oh,
Tom,
what's
that's
up,
my
Felicia?
baby.
How are you?
She's 2. She'll be 3 in April.
Well, I know you have a son. Do you want to give him a little shout out right now?
Hey, what's up, my babies?
There you go.
Felicia, you have to be a brave mom to let this man around with all your baby, with all these animals. You have to be brave.
Serious respect, yeah.
What up, Reese?
Oh my gosh, I see the picture of the frog.
Did you see it?
Here.
It came up. They're looking at it. They can see it.
Yeah, we can see it on here.
Oh wow, that
Looks
is
like
a
them
really.
fake teeth you put in for Halloween, acting like vampire.
Yeah, looks like
Looks
fangs.
like the earlier. To me, it looks like the Billy Bob teeth that you get that are sort of like there's one tooth every couple of
Yes.
inches.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just some teeth you don't want to
I
get.
know. I
big.
don't want them, and I don't want to have them back either.
Straight middle finger.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
thanks for
Think about
pulling
it.
that picture up. That was a really nice graphic and visual reminder to be very careful if you see a frog that big.
Yeah.
Steve, you going to
You don't
touch
wanna
any of
kiss
these
them.
animals today? Which one? All of them?
You should.
Heck yeah.
Including the
All of
frog.
them.
Heck yeah. There's nothing to fear.
Yeah. Okay, well, I held the chameleon, so I'm comfortable with that. And maybe I might even hold the snake.
Yep. She will.
Maybe.
At the end of it, she will. Don't worry.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
I
no.
may. I'm feeling more comfortable
I'll make
because
it
I don't
time.
see it
Yeah.
working. I'm not putting it around my neck. I know that.
I got my Instagram picture of the year with the animals. I'm good.
Yeah. Are you going to hold the snakes, guys?
Nope. Not
Nope.
happening.
Nope.
You don't
How
want
about
to tie?
Andrew?
No.
He speaks for both of us
This is
in that regard.
Dang.
You have kids. Your kids, would they like these?
They would. Absolutely, they would.
Okay. So don't you think your kids would like to know that you held the snake?
No, because if I held a snake, then my
would
wife
go
will
home.
say you have to sleep out with the kids, and I don't have to sleep on the floor because if she knew I touched a snake, I can't get anywhere near the house almost. So
That is true.
I mean, I'd have to go home with you, man. I'll stay.
I mean, hey,
Of course, that's a lot of snakes. That'd be about it.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of germs.
It would. Yeah, I know.
She wouldn't like that.
She would not at all.
I don't know.
No.
I
But
think your
if
kids,
you bring her, we can change her mind too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have 5 kids, so you got to do your show just for my family. You
Yeah.
know. and
Hey,
get
that's
them.
all right. We do
My kids will be
private
all
shows
over
as
it.
well.
They'd love it. They'd love it.
Yeah,
yeah,
Hey.
I think your kids are going to ask you for a snake, though.
After it, probably.
Guarantee.
They probably will.
guarantee.
Birthdays, I'm sure, are coming up.
I said, take that up with their mother. I'm going to watch football, man. Whatever.
So our show is called The Intern Whisperer. What does a day look like for somebody that would intern with your business? And we're going to go with they want to touch snakes and other crazy animals.
They
that
would
you
have to.
Okay, so a day with the animals. You got to get right to the fun stuff first, and that's cleaning the enclosures. Cleaning out all the poop, changing the water, and just any maintenance like that. And then after that, it's more playing with the animals. You get to hang out with them for a little bit, get them going, and then after a couple hours of playing with each one, we'll sit there and get ready to feed them, and that always takes a while. Depending on the feeding day, and then after that, let them get full, hang out with them some more, and then that's a day. The cold-blooded encounters life, but we also go to parties, and then that's just going to the party and setting up and hanging out with each group of people that we meet, and people they always turn into friends because they're changing lives with these animals.
So do they all come? Well, can you take some of them out at the same time? Like this snake could probably be out at the same time as, I guess, the frog and.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
some. There are some that I can have around each other, and they won't bother each other at all. Like most of the snakes and stuff, but there also are other animals that they're just so defensive that if any other animals around them, it's either it's
Territorial.
fight or flight.
Very.
Yeah, they want to go. Like they're either they think something's gonna attack them. Like they're not used to it. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so who are some of the people in your lives that have mentored you in this business? And, if it's just people that are online, it may not be people you know personally. I'm going to say that you must have been mentoring him, so
Yeah.
your
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I watch, like a lot of reptile guys on YouTube. Brian Barczyk and Camp Kennan. I watch a lot of those guys. I've learned a lot of stuff from those guys. Have like some guys around the house. Around my area, named Ken Robertson. He's like a reptile guru. He's like my reptile guru. But then like just people that I've known throughout my life, like a man named Charles Farmer. When I was a kid, he was like a second granddad to me. I would just go hang out with him, hang out with his grandsons, and he would always catch all these different snakes and stuff and just let them bite them. And I'm like, whoa, that's
Poisonous
crazy.
ones?
No, he wouldn't let poisonous snakes, but that like he taught me that from the get. They might look a little scary, but they're not gonna hurt you. And like that's what we try to mentor to everybody else. That's he's my crash dummy. Like I'm his
What?
mentor, and I'll be like, hey, go pick this snake up,
And I'll
knowing
pick
it's
it up.
about to get him.
Yeah, and I'll get bit. It doesn't really hurt. Like snakes, they don't
Yeah.
like bite onto you and like gnaw on you and try to like kill you. They'll just like nip at you. Like get
Yeah,
off.
just get back.
Kind of like how a cat swats
Oh,
at
yeah.
a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, get away from me.
But
And you don't really feel it. It's more of like, oh, what?
Startles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
Like
like
finger
pain.
pinch.
More of a fear of
Yeah.
getting bit than actually getting bit. But yeah, back to the mentors. That's just social media is so big these days. Like I could go on and on about all the guys that I have on Instagram, on Facebook that I just like look up to in the reptile game. So yeah.
All right, so next question. Go ahead. Field it.
What, as in terms of information for interns, one thing I know that helps is if the intern can share some of the same passion and vision as the company they're applying for and who they want to intern for and with and be mentored by. what kind of intern would stand out to you if you're, if somebody wants to get in the business and, hey, I'd like to be at Casual Encounters, would you intern me? What's gonna take me from, resume to reptile handler?
Somebody that understands that it's not always fun. Somebody that shows a lot of perseverance, because there's going to be times where you're like, I'm not touching that animal, or I'm not cleaning up that poop. And but like you're going to have to, because it's fun to sit there and hang out with snakes and lizards, feed tortoises, but at the same time, like, you got to know that they're passionate about it, because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to want to do all the negative stuff that comes along with that that journey to being like a experienced reptile keeper, somebody that really loves them. So
Have you taken up any community service requests yet, or have people come to you for community service?
I let my little brother and sister get that. If other people were to come to me about it, then hey, I'd be all for it. I'd love to get help, and I'd love to see the enjoyment that everybody else gets.
That's a plug. So, free work. He got your back. Community service.
Yeah, community service. Get with me.
Get those hours.
We're in Winter Haven, but we can talk.
So I was looking up just some fun facts about the future of the pet industry, and when I was looking at the number of households, like the pet breakdown, it said that there are, for dogs, 63.4 million dog owners, 42.7 million cat owners, and reptiles 4.5 million. I was just amazed. I did not think it was like that big.
That many, me neither.
Yeah. So that was pretty, and horses 1.6, but they're really expensive.
Yeah, and they need a lot of room too.
They do. Yeah,
reptiles are on the rise though. I don't think that's necessarily true. You can go to a reptile convention like Repticon and stuff like that, and man, everybody walks out with a pet. Like, I'll go in there and be like, all right, I'm just getting the tank today. Leave like 2 snakes and a spider.
I have several close friends with snakes.
Yeah, they're addicting too, man. Just like tattoos. So, and more people are starting to look at them exotic animals compared to, having cats and dogs. Like, I refuse to have a cat or a dog. My daughter wants a dog, and I'm like, you can have a snake.
Oh, you got to get her a dog.
No, I'm a dog person.
Yeah,
I would get a
just
dog.
one.
Maybe one day.
I don't know. It would have to be a dog that's not going to go and take the snakes and twirl it around.
Once you give reptiles a chance, like, I promise, like, you might love your dog, but you're going to love these right off the bat. And
it would be nice to come home and not have to worry about walking a dog.
Yeah.
That is true.
Go spot clean the
so
enclosure.
that means you're going to hold the snake.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think if you hold it, everybody else is
I
obligated
think that's
to.
a deal.
Yeah, if you hold it, both of you have to hold it.
Isabella holds the
Both of y'all.
snake,
You're not out
I
there.
am down.
I'm not down. I'm good at a distance, but I like the deal I'm watching.
That's a deal, right?
I already know.
Ayana, are
Ayana's
you
gonna
jumping
go,
in?
No, I am not doing that.
Ayana's jumping in, one of the camera girls. She's getting in there.
Yeah, that is just not going to happen.
I think y'all
anyway,
can do it.
so when we think about the future of the reptile business, what do you see it? Do you see more independent people like yourself bringing them to the masses? What do you think it's going to look like 10 years from now?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing with it. Is a lot more people are wanting to, because like what I do, a lot of people don't do. But since I've been doing it, I've seen that a lot more people are wanting to get into the educational side of it. Because like there's just this stigma about reptiles, about all they want to do is bite. But I mean, you get bit by a dog, and sometimes you have to get stitches. You get bit by a snake, and you just wipe it off if blood even comes up. So like, and more people are starting to realize that. So it's just like, if it gets more seen, well, the masses are gonna come. But
Well, how can people find you?
You can find my Facebook page for Cold Blooded Encounters, which is the business, on Facebook at the Cold Blooded Encounters, and you can also find me on Instagram at Reptile Guy Kai. That is at reptile_guy_Kai.
You mean GUY? Guy?
Guy Kai.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
GUYKAI.
Yeah, you got to spell it so people know how to find you.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can find me at those 2 places, and they'll lead you to other ways to get a hold of me as well. So,
All righty. Well, we're going to be giving a little shout out here. I'm going to skip that transition music, just so you know, and say thank you, Valencia College. We're over here on the East Campus. We love being here. Q is our station manager. He is awesome. And we get to be in this really great atmosphere with these microphones that move all over the place.
Fancy, for sure.
Fancy. So we're going to go ahead and do our shout outs. So we're going to go around the room, and I'm going to start with you, Johnny. Who is your shout out for?
Shout outs. I have Andrew and Jesus. Andrew owns a mini zoo as well. He has like 2 snakes, a pet lizard. Jesus has 2 pythons. I think that look like that. They're about that size. And then, my friend Mike, he has like 3 lizards, huge little aquariums for them, on top of 2 cats and a dog. So also another zoo. So shout out to all the zoo owners out there.
Do you hold their animals?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Just checking.
Even when I'm going over there just to hang out, drink, watch the game, keep the animals away.
Yeah, gotcha. Andrew.
I'll shout out to my best friend Chris and my former bandmate back in my touring days when I was a rocker and could stay up past 8:30 without falling asleep. Yeah, getting old. But we were roommates, and he had ball python. He had a larger boa constrictor, and he had one that was 8 feet, so about the size you articulated, and they would get out and roam free, and so he was really the one who got me exposed to snakes. And I'm not necessarily afraid of them because of that, but I still didn't want to, touch them or anything or wake up sleeping with them. But shout out to him because he would love this particular episode. So shout out to Chris.
All right. Malachi, you're up.
Shout out to my family, of course, and my best friend Zach and my other friend Enrique.
All right. You're up.
I just want to shout out everybody that loves reptiles. Y'all are great. We great. And I want to shout out my kids because they push me to be better and better every day. Like, there's been times I wanted to give up, and I'm just like, that's not somebody that they want to look up to. So, I got to keep pushing for them. And, just my family, all my friends watching. Hey, I love y'all. And, yeah, that's about it. The whole world. I want everybody to be better than they were.
Feel the
today.
love.
Yeah.
Reptile love.
Fill the world with snakes. Fill the world.
Except your house.
Except my house.
Yeah, that's right. So my shout out goes to Eli Sutton, who created our music for this episode, and then you get to play that awesome music in all of your upcoming any type of social feed that people follow it. To Ayana and Steve, who are the video mavens that are over here in the back of the room. They are going to create beautiful snippets for you to be able to have in your social feed. And so they're going to make us all look really good, too. And for Johnny and Andrew, that are sitting across from me. And Laura Guzman, who is not here, she is going to create all of these posts that go out in the social feed. So for everybody that's on, and Sharon is not here in the room, but she is going to be booking guests like crazy. So to all of those people that make this podcast happen, a big shout out to all of you guys.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Our listeners, to our followers, and then also to you guys for being on the show this week. So thank
y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. So we're going to close out this show, and we want to thank everybody for listening. And you can take us out with that fantastic Eli Sutton music.